Horror and comedy, two genres that seem as different as night and day, yet when blended together, they create something truly magical. From cackling corpses to chainsaw-wielding buffoons, horror comedies offer the thrill of terror and the joy of laughter. But which films truly nailed this wickedly fun mix? Tonight, dear fiends, we shall embark on a deep dive into the greatest horror comedies of all time. And as always, my ever-annoying voice of reason, my nephew Jodie is here to keep me from descending into pure madness.
Yeah, Uncle Vincent, somebody has to make sure you don't start calling every movie a masterpiece of terror again.
They are masterpieces, and tonight you shall see why. Let us begin. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Well, it was released in 1948. This film was Universal's final hurrah for its classic monsters before they were retired to B-movie obscurity. Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr., and Glenn Strange reprised. Well, Glenn Strange was, I guess he played the... No, Jodie, he was a stuntman. No, Boris Karloff played Frankenstein, you know that. Now, where was I? Yes, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr., and Glenn Strange played the monsters respectively as Dracula the Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster, lending the film an air of authenticity. It's one of the first studio films to prove that horror and comedy could work together without diminishing the impact of either. The movie revitalized Abbott and Costello's flagging careers and gave Universal one last hit with their famous monsters. This film did something truly revolutionary. It blended authentic horror with slapstick comedy. The monsters remained deadly serious while Abbott and Costello bumble around in sheer terror. This contrast is why the film works so brilliantly.
Yeah, it's also one of the last great Universal monster movies, before they stopped taking them serious. Imagine if Freddy Krueger starred in a buddy comedy next.
He's a criminal's worst nightmare. A cop who enjoys the danger.
No guns, no jiu-jitsu, just bring him down.
Do you really want to jump?
Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What the...
He was ready to retire. Now, he's gonna wish he had.
Gun! Oh!
Raj, meet your new partner.
Oh, you jest, but I wouldn't put it past Hollywood. An American Werewolf in London. The perfect balance of horror and humor. Now, this movie was directed by John Landis, the genius behind Animal House and the Blues Brothers. The special effects by Rick Baker was so groundbreaking that they created the Academy Award for Best Makeup just to honor them. The horror is played straight while the comedy is character-driven, a balance many horror comedies struggle to achieve. The film's dream sequences and hallucinations were unique for the genre and still inspire horror filmmakers today. The film is brilliant because it never forgets that it's a horror movie first and a comedy second. The laughs come naturally from the absurdity of the situation. Oh, but the terror, it's very real.
Yeah, and that werewolf transformation. Still the best practical effects I've ever seen. CG could never do that.
Yes, Gremlins, the holiday horror comedy classic. Now, directed by Joe Dante, produced by Steven Spielberg, and written by Chris Columbus. Yeah, that one, Home Alone, and the first two Harry Potter films. Oh yes, a dream team for horror and fantasy lovers. Originally, the script was much darker, with Gizmo turning into the villain instead of remaining the adorable hero. The film pushed the limits of PG-rated horror, leading to the creation of the PG-13 rating in 1984. Wasn't there several films that led to that, like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? So what actual folks, if you know, tell me in the comments below, what actual movie led to the creation of the PG-13 rating? Was it Gremlins or Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Now, Practical effects legends created the Gremlins using animatronics, giving them a realistic and tactile presence. This one tricks you. It lures you in with the adorable gizmo, only to unleash absolute carnage with an army of cackling gremlins. It's the ultimate gateway horror film.
Yeah, and let's be real, Stripe was a total menace. Oh, that blender scene. Yikes!
Oh, yes. Oh, now, Shaun of the Dead. Now, this was directed by Edgar Wright, who meticulously planned every joke and scare with frame-perfect precision. The film references every major zombie movie, particularly the George A. Romero classics. Instead of mocking horror movies, it celebrates them, proving that horror comedies could still be made by real horror fans. The film introduced the world to the Cornetto trilogy, which would later include Hot Fuzz and The World's End. This is a love letter to horror. The humor is dry, the zombies are terrifying, and the emotional moments hit hard. It's a perfect blend of horror, comedy, and even drama.
Yeah, who would have thought a zombie movie would make you cry? But this one does.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This classic hillbilly horror trope where the real villains are the paranoid college students, Alan Tudyk and Tyler Labine. Tyler. We'll just call him Tyler. Bring warmth and charm to the characters who would usually be the villains. One of the best horror comedies in recent years, proving the genre still has life in the modern era. The wood chipper scene has become legendary in horror comedy history. This film is genius because it takes one of horror's oldest tropes, the evil redneck killers, and flips it upside down. Suddenly the victims are the real menace, and the killers are the nicest guys ever. But Jodie, I know a lot of monsters and killers, and they're usually the nicest people I know.
Yeah, and those misunderstandings keep getting funnier and funnier. This is a horror comedy done right.
And there you have it. 5 legendary horror comedies that nailed the balance between terror and laughter. Each one a testament to how horror doesn't always have to be taken so seriously.
Now, let us know in the comments what horror comedies you love. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, well, before Uncle Vincent starts haunting you.
I will. Until next time, my ghoulish guest, stay spooky, stay sinister, and may your nightmares always come with a punchline.